What is up, guys? It's Tom here and welcome to the latest Liverpool transfer news video. And before we begin, let me just tell you, justice for the 96. Finally the CPS announced that 6 people were charged related to the Hillsborough disaster, which was just long overdue, because the disaster happened in 1989. And now the prosecution will begin for these 6 people, so hopefully the families of the 96 will get justice in the end, and the legal procedures will begin. So make sure to not say anything about the people who are charged, because that could affect the trials, so that's very important to tell you guys as well. But of course it's all over the major media outlets in England, so if you want to read up about it, just look up a big English newspaper and read about it. And the first big story is that Naby Keita has hinted at him wanting to leave RB Leipzig, and I already told you guys like 2 days ago in my video that Leipzig changing from the player is not for sale to the player is only available for 80 million euros, which is roughly about 70 million pounds, means that Naby Keita wants to leave. And he also gave an interview very recently. He gave an interview to German publication Die Welt, adding fuel to the already, the speculation that Naby Keita wants to leave Leipzig. And apparently, according to the Bild, the German newspaper, Liverpool have sent representatives today to Leipzig to, negotiate with the club and hopefully strike a transfer agreement with the club Leipzig, and then Naby Keita could move to Liverpool because he wants to move. He said in this interview with Die Welt, I love Leipzig and I will never forget this city. A player who wants to stay there for many years doesn't say something like this. He's 22 years old and he's a brilliant young player, but I don't think he's worth 70 million pounds. The reason why I think Leipzig is asking for this amount of money is to try to keep him at all costs. But I think if Liverpool can negotiate smartly, we can get a deal of around 55 or maybe 60 million pounds, and that could still be worth it, because as I already said, Naby Keita I think would be really a game changer for this club. But Jurgen Klopp faces a dilemma over the Naby Keita signing, and here's why. He has a release clause of 48 million pounds, but that release clause will only be activated next summer. So what does Jurgen Klopp do? I think if we have the opportunity, we should sign him right now, because if he has another like barnstorming season in the Bundesliga, and also remember that Leipzig will be in the Champions League, if he plays well in the Champions League and Leipzig go far to maybe the knockout stages, then a whole host of huge clubs will be in line for him. Maybe if the bigger clubs will be in for him next summer and they can all meet his release clause, Liverpool will lose out on him because the other clubs could offer huge astronomical wages. So this is the dilemma of Jurgen Klopp, and in my opinion Liverpool are right to really pursue Naby Keita. And the reason why there are no major links to alternative players besides Naby Keita tells me that Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool are really confident of getting this deal done. They're getting this deal over the line, which I'm really excited about. But we shall wait and see. Nothing is certain until the player is pictured at Anfield with the Liverpool shirt on. But it's very interesting to talk about these things. He made 31 appearances in the Bundesliga. He got 8 goals and 7 assists for a 22-year-old young midfielder. That's outstanding. But also the way he attacks the final third, the way that he can dribble with the ball is just outstanding. Liverpool don't really have a midfielder who is as dynamic as him. I can maybe compare him to Wijnaldum. I think Wijnaldum is the player who can travel with the ball with the most speed out of our midfielders, but even he is not as good as Naby Keita with the ball. So this is why I think that Liverpool would make a really big improvement with Naby Keita in our midfield. And I think we have the money to pay for him. The big question is if Jurgen Klopp wants to sign both Keita and Van Dijk, how can we make that happen? And I think we could make it happen by trying to get 30 million pounds for Sacco, trying to get like 50 million pounds for Moreno. We are also wanting to sell Markovic to Watford for 12 million pounds. If you add that up, that could be about another like 55 million or something like that in the bank. And if Liverpool can net spend close to 100 million, I think we could have the team to really attack the Premier League and maybe go for the top 3 or top 2 or even even for the title. I hesitate to say that because of course there needs to be a lot of you know, transfers get done in order for that to happen. But I'm very optimistic because it looks like that this summer Jurgen Klopp is going for quality instead of quantity. And of course, if a young player is available who makes a lot of sense to sign, like Dominic Solanke, Jurgen Klopp is happy to sign a young player. But he knows that this team needs players who can come in straight into the first team and improve the first team, and Naby Keita and Virgil van Dijk could be certainly the kind of players to do that. There are also other targets if the Naby Keita transfer doesn't come through, like Oxlade-Chamberlain, Max Meyer, Leon Goretzka. They both play in the Bundesliga. Of course, we know about Oxlade-Chamberlain. And also there has been some quotes from Naby Keita, but he said that these quotes are actually 1 year old, so don't get fooled about those quotes. He said that I hope that I am at the level in 2 or 3 years that I could play for one of the very big clubs, and he mentions Barcelona, Real Madrid and Manchester City. But that interview was before he joined Leipzig, and he said that he talked to clubs like Manchester City and Liverpool, although he didn't speak personally to the Liverpool manager. But these quotes are 1 year old that have been resurfacing today in the media, so I just wanted to let you guys know. And he also said, Naby Keita, that he wants to become the best African player in the world. So that is going to be, you know, very, very interesting. And in all the big summer transfer windows, we signed quite a lot of players. You know, last summer we bought 7 players, only 3 of them, Matip, Wijnaldum and Mane, have featured regularly. In the previous summer, in 2015, we brought in 7 players. In 2014, summer transfer window, we brought in 8 players. And in 2013, I think we bought in 6 new players. This time, it could be only 4 players, maybe 5, but all those players could improve the first team, maybe except Solanke. So this is, I think, a slight change in the Liverpool transfer policy. And also a very interesting update on Ryan Sessegnon. So remember that Ryan Sessegnon was heavily linked with Liverpool and then Tottenham. In the end, he joins neither club. He actually signed a new 3-year contract extension with Fulham, and I'm actually happy with that because, you know, I didn't want Tottenham to get him. I understand that he didn't want to move out of London, and this could be the best choice for him, because even if he signed for Tottenham, how much would he play? At Fulham, remember, he's only 17 years old and he just turned 17, so he's basically in high school and or in college. I'm not sure how the UK education system works, but he would play almost every game at Fulham. He would get regular playing time and he could grow as a player and develop as a player, and he has already a name in football. So I'm sure that those transfer offers that were on the player this summer, they will be on the table next summer, and even more clubs could join in next summer. So it's not like that he's wasting his career in the Championship. I think that's the perfect decision for him to develop. And I'm just talking about the point of view of Ryan Sessegnon himself. Of course, I would have loved to see him at Liverpool, because he, I think, could be one of the best left backs in England in the next like 4 or 5 years if he develops at the current rate. But you know, it makes sense for him to stay at Fulham. And also, Oxlade-Chamberlain is thinking about signing a new Arsenal contract. Arsenal offered him 100 grand per week, but the midfielder wants assurances about his role, and because he wants to play, he wants to be in the first team, and I don't think he will get that at Arsenal. So at the moment it's a delicate situation. Liverpool want him, We made inquiries about him to Arsenal. Oxlade-Chamberlain wants to leave Arsenal if he isn't guaranteed a first team place. I don't think Wenger can guarantee that for him. So Liverpool still have a chance to get him. And also Liverpool, Lucas Leiva, who has been for 10 years at the club, is again linked to a Turkish side, this time to Trabzonspor. And Lucas actually said that he could have left in January to join Galatasaray, I think, or Fenerbahce, I'm not entirely sure which one, but the Turkish club. But he said he wanted to stay at Liverpool just to achieve the 10-year milestone, because to stay at such a huge club like Liverpool for 10 years, for any player, that's a huge honor, huge thing. Not many players can say that I've played for 10 years for Liverpool. And Lucas is one of the most loyal servants, and I think he can still do a good job for Liverpool. But if we move him on for something like 5 million this summer, I would wish him well. I think it could be time for Grujic, for example, to step up, and I think Grujic could play the role of Lucas next season, where he could fill in the cup games and in some of the Premier League games where we have some injuries. And apparently Liverpool have ruled out a swap deal with Napoli for Gulam, their left back. We were interested in him, and Napoli wanted Moreno, but Moreno is only valued by Napoli to about 11 million pounds. And Liverpool value Moreno 15 million, so we don't want to do a deal with Napoli, which is understandable. So that's also a very interesting development. And finally, Southampton said that Van Dijk is not for sale, which is kind of funny because they always say this at every summer. One of the users on Twitter actually compiled a list of headlines where Ronald Koeman said that Dejan Lovren was not for sale before Lovren was signed by Liverpool. Before Sadio Mane joined Liverpool, Southampton insisted that Sadio Mane is not for sale, and there were articles about that in Sky Sports. Also, another very interesting headline: Southampton won't sell Adam Lallana after Manchester United link. Of course, after that, Liverpool signed Adam Lallana in the end, and Pochettino says, Mauricio Pochettino, the Southampton manager at the time, said that Southampton are under no pressure to sell Adam Lallana, and then they sold him to Liverpool. So, of course, Southampton have to say this. They won't come out in the newspapers and say that all our players are for sale. Just stand in a queue and take your pick to the clubs. But of course, everybody knows what Southampton's club model is. They have been doing this for so many years, bringing through players from the youth academy and signing players from abroad or from you know, other smaller English clubs for a cheap price, and then sell them on for a profit. That has been Southampton's you know, club philosophy. So it's not a hidden secret. The big thing is whether, you know, the Southampton board, who actually said that Van Dijk won't be sold, to their new manager Pellegrino, will they keep their word, or if Liverpool offer ridiculous money for Van Dijk, they might have to sell. We shall wait and see. I have no idea what will happen. I just hope that Liverpool will get the players that Jurgen Klopp wants. Anyway, that wraps up for today's Liverpool transfer news episode. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like on the video, and the new career mode video is coming later today. I'm working on it, so stay tuned. See you later, guys. Goodbye.